What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We back at it. Connect Wednesdays, episode 75. Today is going to be 2025 crypto forecast, what you guys need to know live talk. Before we dive in, Steve's got some updates for everybody. Steve, what's going on, bro?
Everything's good. So, guys, listen. The foundation is being updated as we speak. So, even if you took it, we're going to open up more sectors. We have AI agents opening up. We just have a bunch of more sectors opening up. New courses coming this month. I think we have about 4 new courses that are dropping. Yeah, I think about 4 or 5 new courses that are dropping. We have we're going to show you guys how to break down white papers, right? So if you want to go, for those who want to go a little bit deeper to go into the projects that you're spending or putting a lot of investment into, you definitely want to keep up with what they kind of their roadmap, right? Because that tells you a lot about when the price is going to pump, or when to look out for certain changes. Okay, so we're going to show you guys how to break down white papers. Champ and I have been playing with ChatGPT, and it's pretty good when you have the right prompts. It can summarize things for you. So for people who aren't like avid readers like myself, I'm a big skimmer. It's been helping summarize certain things. And not that I don't read, but I'd be having a lot of shit going on. Top of the year, guys, and we sent the message out on the last call. Time management and the chunking, right? Setting up your 2025. All of that is inside of the is it professional development?
Professional. Yeah.
It's in
Well, no,
professional development. So if you're
time is
new,
personal, excuse me. Time
personal,
management. Yep.
but there's more than just time management on there. It's not just the time management sheet. We go through a series of showing you how to organize your time properly and just enter the year, a little bit more organized where you're kind of looking at things in quarters and then bi-yearly and then yearly. So once we get to the 6 point mark, the halfway mark, we'll come back around again just to kind of, reconvene. We'll use the academy as a um, just use me as an example of what I've been doing and how we're kind of just tracking how the year is going because we have to make so many adjustments. So January, we are actually switching over our platform. It's still staying the same, but we're going to have some better ability, just better functionality. So for all you that needed the mobile app to be better, it's coming. So you'll be able to download it directly from either the Apple Store or the Android situation. So it's going to be more mobile friendly. You'll be able to get notifications, right? Because a lot of people complain about, not getting notifications and things like that. So it's going to be a lot more mobile friendly. I still wouldn't tell you to take courses on there. I like for people to sit in front of a computer, but if you don't have one, then it just is what it is. February, again, we talked about this. I'm out to South America. We're starting to set up the play for just the international moves at this point now, right? This is pathway to citizenship. We have some, we have some things coming up in Africa also. So I'm formally stepping away from Crypto 101. And it's obvious for those of you who don't know, this is new news, but for those of you in the academy, you knew that at the top of the year, I was, I'm branching off. I'm just not going to sit in the what cold storage or where to buy that part of it. Right. We're going to automate that as much as possible. Everything is inside the coursework. But in order for us to grow the academy, we have to we have to step outside of the 101. So for people that are trying to play catch up, don't worry about it. Champ is here and then the community's here too. And then the work is easy. Once you get through the work, and that's part of the reason why I wanted, the last thing I was going to do on the way out was revamp the foundation. So if you started to take it, just go ahead with it. But it's going to be just new videos. We have an updated scam report for 2020. Well, just an updated scam report, just to give you guys, a heads up on what's happening. As the liquidity starts to pour into the market, the scammers are going to start to attack more of where the money's at, right? So with that said, in the next couple of weeks, and I've been working on this since last year, we are working on the coldest wallet ever. So we're taking it back to you having the ability to create your own cold storage wallet. I'm not looking to deal with Ledger and none of these guys. I mean, I'll have them on deck, but there's something to just getting back to having like full ownership of your stuff. I don't fully trust governments and these entities for cold storage. So when the rules and regulations start to be set, January, February, end of the month, we'll start to see how they position the cold storage. Trump did say allowing people to self-custody. I don't know. This is just what I heard. Now, what he does or what they do would be a different situation. But there are some crypto players at the forefront that actually know what they're doing with it. So you really can't take self-custody away from us if you're not going to give us insurance and security.
Absolutely.
Right. So I could tell you that if they're going to offer you some type of security plan or, Coinbase or whatever, then, that's a conversation. I wouldn't be signing up for it, but, to each its own. We have the events calendar that's about to be updated. So that's right there. Once you log on to the portal, you'll be able to keep up with everything that we have. If like right now, you'll see the 4-day situation that we have. If you didn't sign up for it, then it's just not for you. AI for breakfast this week. We're back on again. Guys, the AI agents is actually messing up a lot of ways that we're going to do business in the future. So we have to keep up with that, even with what I was setting up for the, and we're still working on it, the agency for the Academy. There has to be a pivot made because now we have to focus more on the AI agent. And for those of you who don't know what it is, we're actually dropping a course Saturday on AI for breakfast. And if you don't know what, we have some newbies in here. So we have a totally different group from the Academy. It's called the AI Visionaries Network. You can still see it in your groups. So you can join that for free. Everything in there is it's free to join. And then most of the courses there are free. There's probably like 2 paid courses. One is a report that you could run. It's an AI job impact report that will give you the ability to give us your industry, and we run a customized report to tell you how your industry is being affected by AI. So that's something that we added last year when AI kind of made the surges. Now that crypto's back, it's like double the work dealing with those 2-headed monsters. So AI agents has a crypto narrative and just a regular AI narrative. So we're going to start to piece that together for you guys. That's probably the smartest thing that I've seen in AI so far, but it's going to take away software is dead. Just put it that way. Software is dead. So I'd say I'd probably have 1 more year of creating product as a human before we start to automate it. But realistically, we're going to start to translate all our content in different languages. And this is part of when you move out of the country. This is kind of the plus, the growing your base a little bit more, where I can be speaking like this or teaching and it'll be coming out in a different language, utilizing AI. So that's how we're going to expand, especially me going into South America and Latin America. That's going to be one of the things I'm going to bring out there is the teaching platform. Foreigners are actually a little more abreast on cryptocurrency and the changes because they have more financial strife than we do in the United States. And we're starting to feel the pain a little bit now, but they're about to turn up the heat in a second. Literally, they're turning up the heat, and y'all see what's happening on the West Coast too. So I hate to invest in this type of stuff, but carbon credits, we're going to start to bring that back up again. And the fact that you mentioned HBAR, that's going to be a big player in the carbon credit game. So when you start seeing these fires, you start seeing that the United States is by 2030, they're going to own 50% of the land in the United States. You have to start asking yourself, like, how are they going to get this land? And they're not buying it. All right, guys. So this is how we're going to be introduced to smart cities and all that other stuff. So, you guys can have at it here in this country. I'm going to be off-grid, farmland, beach, because those countries aren't going to allow. I hope they don't. But either way, the world is your oyster, and I'm just here to just document that it could be done. Right. This is my first time looking to leave this country. I've always born and raised here, so I'll document it so you'll be on the ride. Path to citizenship in most of these countries are going to be through real estate. So like I told you, we've sold damn near everything we've had, and now it's a matter of just figuring out what the next landing spot is, which is probably going to be Colombia first. So once you start to invest in real estate in these countries, that's going to be your path to citizenship, and you know, um, that's how the rest will follow from there. One of the good things, and speaking to brokers and agents out there, that if you can have someone that you trust, so let's say you guys trust me and I'm in South America in Colombia, and there's a real estate deal that you want to come in on. If I have the citizenship, or when I have the citizenship, I'd be able to bring a team of people with me, and we would partner, and then you would have path through citizenship well, I'd be able to secure loans in Colombia, right? Because as an American, they don't really give you loans in those countries, and vice versa. You have to be a citizen. Some may have, certain restrictions, or they might give you 50% or 30%, but for the most part, they want you to be a citizen. So if I gain citizenship, that's one of the things that we're going to add to our packages. That if somebody was interested in coming to these countries, I can effectively get loans on these properties, right? Because right now you have to go in all cash. So that's just something to look out for. And we're headed in February, middle of February. I'll be out there, and I'll document the whole time I'm out there too, in real time. I hope, but you'll have the information. Just put it that way. So we killed health and wellness. That's just a channel now. We got rid of trading. That's now in cryptocurrency. But but our focus for this year is going to be really drilling down on the most secure assets. And then we're going to start to give you guys our short-term plays. So for those of you who want to make, money now, and you don't want to really hold on to that project for too long, you might want to catch the first or second pump. Champ's going to get back on his spot calling.
Yep. And I've got something for you guys already too. So those of you who've been in the academy, you guys are starting to see them. They're coming.
Yeah. So we're going to also give you guys another course that's going to show you how to spot spots. So for those of you who are new, we have a coin market cap watch list, and we kind of already put everything in there. So we're just going to get back to that. And I think we probably going to have to do some bi-weekly investment calls. So now that we're getting closer and closer to those portfolios, really getting to where we need to be at, we just need to strategize together. And the reason I say that is because as your wallet starts to increase, and I've been talking to a lot of my guys, people are getting anxiety over the amount of money that they have. And I'm the first one to say it's a little weird seeing those numbers and not having real access to it. If you know what I mean, right? So if I can see $10 million in a bank account or whatever in assets, I know I could easily convert that out into, real estate or whatever I'm doing, or even purchases, vacations. But now with the crypto part, it's a little, because I'm not ready to sell yet. Champ has he came across a travel website the other day that's accepting cryptocurrency. Yep. So we're going to start giving you guys those nuggets so you can kind of see how the integration is happening, right? iTrust. Is it iTrust? Yeah, iTrust has the XRP trust, right? You have to be accredited. So they just put out a message the other day that XRP, and they added a few others, but I'm not going to go into it. But they just said it is now listed as something of store value too. So they're about to fuck this up like Bitcoin. I'm just letting you know. I'm just I'm just piecing it together. I don't know for certain that that's going to happen, but I'm just telling you that these institutional guys are hell bent on Ripple and XRP right now. And they're talking about the same thing: Bitcoin Trust, XRP Trust. Andrew Tate is doing a his thing with Bitcoin and the trust, and of course MicroStrategy. So you're going to start to see a lot of copycat individuals doing that, and they're calling on the United States to buy anywhere between 3 to 5 million Bitcoin, to possibly, again, Trump is saying it's to possibly pay down or pay out our debt, and that would give so much relief to this country. And then we just got to figure out, how they manage the budget a little bit better. But that's a different situation. So I think once we start to move into the integration of blockchain, you'll start to see government adopting that and putting information on the blockchain, right? it's just verifiable, but whatever it's going to mean, who knows? I don't think half of us even really care um, how they spend the money, right? What else we got? All right, so we
Um,
have personal development, professional development. I have some Nas is coming back on again. We're gonna do we have to do the preparedness course. This is just in case these guys keep fucking around and you have to like have the right things in hand in case of an emergency. So we have a sister out of Vegas. She actually did the brain train. She's a certified brain trainer. So she has a course that we're teaming up with, and she's gonna come on and just share. And I mean things as like things I didn't even think about, like keeping white sugar in the house, buying a couple cartons of cigarette because you can get back to the days of bartering, right? And that stuff is valuable to people. So like just if it never happens, it just never happens. You know what I'm saying? But if it does, at least you're prepared for it. We have a generator here that runs on gas, and just in case something was to happen, we could run on power, for a couple of days and make sure the heating system and we put certain things online. So I'm gonna start sharing that stuff with you guys. I have a powerful energy frequency machine that I've been using for my health in the household, and it is doing wonders. And we're not a sick household, but my daughter had knee pain, water in her knee. One session with that cleared it up. She's pain free. So what it does is it actually hunts different frequencies. Every disease in your body and everything in the world has a frequency number attached to it, or a frequency. So this machine is able to read the frequencies in your body and spit back reports to show you where your inefficiencies or deficiencies are at, and then you can heal them also with the machine. So that's definitely something that I want everybody to look at. So I'm going to put on a course again, probably with Nas, because she was the one that kind of pushed me over the top. So I've been researching this for a while, so now I have it. And we've been just doing a lot of readings and detox within the household. And it beats you up a little bit too. It tires you out. So in order for the body to heal, it has to rest. And that's some of the biggest issues, guys, is we never have time to really rest, right? We're constantly on this hamster wheel, and myself included. So this year is dedicated to just me really automating the process, not so much like giving up on you guys, but my access can't be the exact same. Um, my body's telling me, yo, chill out. I'm pumping out too much information, especially with like AI as a partner. I feel like I could do all things. And it's just adding more load. And I don't even know if you guys could even keep up with the shit like that, to be honest with you. And I don't even want to do that to you guys. Right. So we have to we're gonna keep with the health and wellness, but we just gotta tool up a few things and just make time for self. Whether it's 10, 15 minutes in the morning. So I'm gonna start introducing you guys to some of the practices and things that I do every morning. And mostly if you watch my feed, I'm not outside in that cold, putting my feet in the grass now in the winter. But I do have tools in the house that allow me to do the same thing with the grounding part. So now it's a matter of this is gonna be a tough year. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. Like from what they're about to hit us with and just the news lines, it's already we're not even halfway through the month, and it's one thing after another. So I kind of expected this. And there's gonna be a lot of distractions. So what I want you guys to focus on, and we'll cover the crypto news, not so much what they're going to do to keep your mind off of it, but we're going to do a lot more dot connecting for you guys, but it won't come in the form of like dot connect Wednesdays, because some of it might drop right away. So Champ's going to start shooting a lot of short form content. So 15 minutes on once we watch the crypto czar, once we pick up on something, we're going to let you guys know, and then we'll drop the nugget in there. And if you could pick it up, then you could pick it up. But for the most part, and then we're going to do bi-weekly, at least monthly spot calls where you guys could come on, and then we could just kind of talk about. I think we got to stay a little closer to how things are changing, because you can see a price spike in H bar for an obvious reason, but then if there might be a couple pieces of information that will be coming down the pipeline, we just got to hold the line a little bit, guys. Like those type of assets that we name, I think you guys all already know it's not a matter of buying it at 30 cents and then selling it at 60. If you need the money and it was a 50%, then I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. But I'm just telling you that if you don't need it, I would just ride this out a little bit, right? Probably going to get a $250,000 Bitcoin. I'd say by spring. I'd say by spring they'll run that up. Actually, it'll be probably right around tax season. What else we got? South America. Yeah, guys, that carbon credit stuff, I'm gonna have to do a breakdown on that to just kind of explain to you and then just tie in what you're seeing with these fires and just where that's gonna go. So I hate to even really touch on it, but we're probably gonna have to do like rabbit hole talk again. We used to have that in our old Discord, so we're gonna bring that back, and it's gonna be tied to rabbit hole, but then there's gonna be a crypto narrative to it on top of it, right? So they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So we just have to find ways to just capitalize on what is gonna happen anyway, if that makes sense. All right. 58% of the 58% of all deposits inside of banks in America are held in just 8 banks right now. So you remember I told you there's going to be a big five in this country and everything else is going to go under, all right, for the most part. So the issue is a lot of these banks aren't going to be able to keep up with the framework that they're about to build out, right? I know black banks don't even have Zelle for the most part. Never mind be set up with cryptocurrency. Within the next year, you're going to be buying cryptocurrency from your bank. Okay, all this exchange stuff, the wallet addresses and things like that, that stuff's probably going to go away. It's probably going to be linked to a phone number, and then it'll be able to kind of send your things. I don't really like the way this is going to trend because at that point they have all the on ramps controlled. And what I mean by that is an on ramp is a place that you go when you buy cryptocurrency. So once government regulations come in, yeah, it's good, the money will pour in, but then there's government regulations at the end of the day. So that's why I tell you, like, self custody. If you found yourself at this point, we've bounced around a little bit. I think they're probably going to leave us alone because it's such a small number of people that are invested in cryptocurrency. But we tend not to, you don't really want to, we'll give you the play. We'll give you the play of how to, I just don't want it on record. But when we have one of our other talks, we're going to start to move off of Zoom also. We're going decentralized platforms. We're going to start using stuff where the IP, which is what I say and what Champ says and what we share with each other, stays with us. When it's with Zoom, they're listening. It's just I'm just to that point now where we have to jump off like Google Drive and because we're in the day of AI. Like literally, you can tell the agent to go out and copy your competitor's website. Like this is the type of stuff that's happening. So we got to keep things a little bit closer in the tuck. And not that I worry about people copying shit. It to me it don't matter. You can't duplicate the shit I say because I don't even know half the shit I'm saying when I'm saying it. So what else we had? Where's Champ at? Oh, you
I'm right
low.
here.
Nah, usually you're in the top. You're like in the class.
Mm.
Listen,
Nah,
time management. Did anybody go back through to do time management at the top of the year? Just drop a 1 in the chat if you did. Anybody. And guys, I'm sending out an email next week and it'll have a link on it. So if you are interested in moving abroad, we're going to start we just need a tag. It'll be presented in the group, but I'll prioritize the people who are interested in that. So and not even moving full time, just a matter of just having options, right? And then we have a gentleman that's going to come on. That's going to he has the playbook for every country and what's needed to move. Ghana right now, path to citizenship is easy. You just got to prove you're black. And I saw white people getting it too. So they're just giving it away now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just something to think about if y'all want to go to Atlanta of Africa. Yeah, Ghana's a hotbed. And let me just do a connection point with Ghana. So the other day, there was an issue with France, and the president basically is fed up now. So what they're doing, and with just Europe, the EU, not just France, all of Europe, they were extracting. Ghana's a big coca bean. That's their industry. So they never had factories, right? So they never produced. So the raw goods would just be grown and then shipped out to Europe. And then the Europeans get to manufacture it and turn it into chocolate in the world that we know it now, right? So think about the amount of money that Ghana has been missing. So now what Ghana is going to do is they're going to start the process. And the reason that they got pushed to this point is because now they don't only want the resources, but they they don't even want to pay for it at this point now. So that's what created that trigger. So I say that to say when we start to get pathway to citizenship in emerging countries, we can also start to do business in these countries, not just buying real estate. Like I'm not here to like I can own a property anywhere. There's no genius in that. But when you're able to have partners that can spot opportunity and that aren't looking to just hoard it to themselves. So the processing of, it's to a point now where we as black and brown people, we can start to create private labels off of goods now, where normally, especially coming from a country like Haiti, being first generation, when I went out there for the first time, and I'm asking the right questions, I started to realize that the country's been sold. So the Clintons, they control all the mango trade, right? So they grab everything from farmers and then they take it to the border, and then from there they broker the deals with the doles and and that's how that world works. And this is now that it's breaking apart. This is how we're going to make true wealth, guys. Trust me when I tell you this. When you start to get involved in trade, right, and you're as close to the source as possible, you become a producer now, right? Not just a consumer. So we have an opportunity now to create new chocolates, right? And the good thing about it is now we can say where it's actually from. So that's why when you look at the origin of how products are made, when the raw material comes from the country, it doesn't matter if it was made if it was grown in the country. What matters is where it was processed. This is how wicked these people are, right? So they won't give all the finest chocolate in the world might come from that coca bean from Ghana. But you might, when it's packaged, it'll say France or Paris, and right to give us the allure. The first is going to be the third world, and the third world is going to be the first world. So what I'm telling y'all is, let's get ready to get the fuck up out of here. Telling you, it's not even going to be worth it to be here. It's going to be tech and just weird and weird. Trust me. So I would say we're going to have an in-person event this year. We're actually going to do two in-person events. One we'll have here in my backyard, and the other we'll have in Champ's backyard in Atlanta. So it'll be our first two. The first one here, I want it small and intimate. It's going to be limited. We're all going to stay in the same house together, and then you'll get the rest of the gist. But it's going to be dope. And you'll have me in the kitchen too. I chef it up a little bit. So that's going to be cool. I was just talking to Storm the other day, and I was like, damn near 90% of you I've never met in person before. And I think there's a deeper level of trust that comes when you actually do exchange energy. And some of you have been around for 3 years. And listen, for all those birthday wishes, thank you. I had an aunt that passed. We're actually burying her tomorrow. So it kind of that all happened at the same time. And then for the students who actually sent me well wishes for my birthday video that my wife put together, listen, from the bottom of my heart, it really meant a lot seeing you guys. It's crazy because the videos over time, they change. It's the second one she did for me. So you start to see the makeup of friends and even family members. So I just see you guys as tribe now. So it was cool. For those of you who did it, you know who you are. Listen, greatly appreciate it. Shit, I want to name y'all so bad, but y'all know already. And I'll send you guys some personal messages if I didn't already do so. I just had a lot going on. So yeah, that's about it. And then just a personal story, guys. And then Champ could take over. The Surgeon General is stepping down, and he sent and I'll drop it in here for you guys to read it. My sentiments, the short of it is fuck him overall for what he's been doing. But just listen to the words and stuff that he expressed in the letter, and we really do have to. He basically said we have to get back to. Hold on. I just read it before the call, so I'm still kind of processing the information a little bit. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for you guys, but it was a closing letter, and he basically urges Americans to rethink how we're living our lives, right? And really, at the end of the day, this guy has worked on people who are on their deathbed, and there's just two things. the people, the loved ones that were around them, and then the people they were able to serve. And we're getting further and further away from that, right? It's supposed to be people help people, not turn to government for help. You know what I'm saying? So the letter is pretty profound. He has a longer version of it, but it's just wild to just read it. And that's why I feel like I'm a little bit off today because I just read it. And I've been feeling like that for a while. And yeah, I know I serve and champ serves all day. So that's how I live my life. And it's disheartening to see how like where we at in this country now. It's just so it's so polarizing, and it's all individual, and it's, you know, everybody against everybody else. And, you know, we don't operate like that at the academy, but that's one of the reasons for the move. Also, when I started to create expat life and interview people from other countries, like, and I'm talking about people that were born and raised here, and they all were saying the same things, you know, with just when they moved to different environments. Um, uh, the most profound thing was the one of my contacts in Colombia when she moved with her son, you know, just watching how no one has a cell phone out there, like the kids are playing, right? They're interacting. People are actually eating together. No one's on mobile phones when they're eating at restaurants, you know, that sort of stuff. So everybody's a lot more engaged with each other. Um, and I don't know if America even realized the days that we used to engage with each other. You know what I'm saying? My son, they never take phone calls on their stuff. My daughter's a chatty patty, so she'll be on the phone. But you know, you have a this is the age that we're entering right now, and it doesn't bring us any closer together. So one of my guys in the academy, Lance, he did the ghost kitchen situation. He talked on a Dot Connect, not featured, but it was talked on. And he mentioned going into the ghost kitchen, and he was as fast as he got in was as fast as he left. And the number one thing from that was there wasn't any human connection to it, right? So they want to manufacture, they're going to pump out money and they're going to automate all this stuff, but we're going to then lose touch. And this is how we gain information, right? This is how we gain inspiration. So when we lose that, we lose a lot.
Yeah.
Sure. And I'm hoping this country gets it together, honestly, because it's weighing on me. Even if we were to be able to carve out a space here, I just don't even want to be here anymore. It's over.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So on top of it being a third world, so by the time we go back, America will probably be on sale when they're done fucking it up, and then we can come back and, you know, retool it. Make America great. That guy's crazy, man. And yo, y'all better thank Donald Trump too for winning that damn election.
Straight up.
Being honest with y'all. So, you know, removing us from the WHO, you know, we gave you guys the WHO document here. We're going to get back into that with the health and wellness. You got to understand what they're about to do. Shit, Sharika, you might be an American citizen in a minute. We about to take over Canada. What's your sentiment? You can when I finish, you come on, and I don't know what the take is. I have Canadian friends who live in Canada. They're not Canadian, but they were all pretty happy about it. They're just a little discouraged about not having leadership. So I think that's the unease feeling, but I don't think anybody really care for him. And if you don't know him, he's a global elite. So when you start to, you know, those are the Obamas and all of them outside of nationalists, right? Those are the leaders that you need to kind of, you know, look for. Trump is more of a populist, but I would say closer to a nationalist side. So you guys just have to start to listen to what he says. Don't listen to what they're telling you he's saying. Just listen to what he's saying, right? Because he's telling you, the sovereign people of this land, y'all need to kind of step up. He's on those papers. For those of you who are in the path that, you know, y'all know already. So he's on those papers. Disney just came out with a situation, you know, Florida's trying to get them to, you know, tax them. Disney does pay no taxes in Florida. And the reason why is because the land that it's on is actually owned by Britain. So they're spilling the beans now. You can't even sue them. So again, there's a private and then there's a public side. So we're going to, you know, Champ always wanted to kind of bring this rabbit shithole here. And I was always like, yo, just wait. But things are making a lot more sense. You know, it's more organized information. And then just the times that we're in right now. So we're going to merge you guys with some of that. I know you guys asked for it. I was the one playing holdback. But for obvious reasons, I think now we have more of a blueprint, you know, to kind of follow. I like things a little bit organized, not like I don't need to spending any more time on certain things. So this is just, getting your paperwork in order, in this country if you're going to stay here. So that's about it, man. Um, yeah, Sharik, if you want to come on and just let us know about this Canada situation, anything that could help us understand what's happening in short, not to put you on the spot.
Yes. No. It's all good. It's really uncertain. Uh, like you were saying, when there's no, I mean, did we really have leadership? That's another question altogether. But the guy that on the conservative side, and they're both lean left, is Pierre Poilievre, and he's actually pro Bitcoin and pro crypto. So it sounds nice, but do I trust that if he were to go into office? Who knows? Trump steering things up is quite interesting. Like, for a process for them to actually take over the country, like, there's people in government already. That's not going to happen overnight. So I'm already starting the process with my visas. That's even more interesting timing. But like you said, a lot of things are being said. I just want to see what actually follows through and what actually happens.
Right.
Yeah. So for me right now, it's really just a toss up, but it's great that he actually stepped down. I didn't actually think it was going to happen. So the fact that it did says something about the times.
I mean, and this is the year of exposure too. So, I mean, 24 was exposure. Now it's like you're going to get tried, right? Because that's how egregious the stuff coming out is right now. So I think once this new administration comes in and they start to declassify information, we'll start to see certain things. And I just like that the FDA and these guys are finally addressing the obvious and things that we knew already in the country. So that is a better step forward before RFK Jr. gets in. So like I said, we'll get back to like more rabbit hole stuff, even though it's just life. I'm just calling it rabbit hole, where we'll start to separate that from the crypto talk. And if we could find a way to merge the narratives, then cool. But I think right now we just have to focus on, if you're going to take anything out of whatever I said just now, let's just focus on getting those wallets in order, if y'all know what I mean. All right. In a couple weeks, I'm gonna be presenting how to build a cold storage wallet from a personal hard drive. Right. But you have to, like, I'm talking about self-custody is you create your own private key, that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. So and for me, it's more so to put a nest egg aside that if they were to blow everything up, at least I know that there's something sitting with me. But if your house catches on fire or some shit happens, like, that's the downside to that stuff too. You understand? Because we don't really want to back the stuff up on clouds. So I have and then we're gonna start doing I have a course coming out on security measures. Remember, I told you guys, for my newbies that are in here, get a brand new computer, could be a cheap one, and take everything off of it. No email, don't answer no emails, no nothing. Don't download any apps, nothing. I'm actually starting from scratch now. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where you're gonna put your interface for your cold wallets and stuff like that inside of that computer. All right. So I have a friend of mine who's into security. Um, yeah, he actually works for one of the biggest artists in the world. And when they go to set up like internets and for their concerts and stuff like that, they have private, they're not on the regular internet that we're on. So we're gonna have access to that information of how to do that in your home, because we can, and it's worth it, especially as these wallets start to grow. This ain't just like utilizing a Verizon network. You have to know how to create security parameters around it. All right. So you're going to see a lot of ransomware. And the number one thing that they use for ransomware now is crypto.
Crypto. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So do not store your cold storage. If you have cold storage wallet seed phrases that you screenshotted or you saved it to your computer or you put on a cloud, Control Alt Delete. Go buy another one. Start all over.
Yeah.
Straight up. So I don't know. I seen a photo with Brad and Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, we gonna get into that. Most
Brad,
definitely.
I just pass you the ball. You handle it from there.
Oh, all right. You out of here? Or you rocking?
Now I'm kind of back and forth. Listen, just drop a one in the chat if you're interested in Colombia or South America as a whole. And drop a fire emoji if you're looking to leave the country, whether it be for citizenship or just to have options. Just want to get a feel for it. We got a good group today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, everybody's feeling like this.
Crazy, man. It is. This is a consensus. Everybody's feeling like this.
Y'all got the right one. Because one thing about me is when I put my mind to something and I say I'm about to do something, I'm about to do it. Straight up. And then think about it. If we've given this much in 3 years, just imagine. I don't hide opportunity from people, guys. I'm not that sort of guy like that. You're gonna get the invite as soon as that door opens. One of my first meetings when I land in Colombia is going to be with a gentleman who owns a crypto exchange. I told you guys about that, right? So, and he's black too. So that's going to help us out. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing is that server situation I talked about. So just in case things get a little bit nutty, we can have access to servers where we be able to, because them VPNs ain't going to work. I'm going to tell you that now. Those VPNs will not work forever. All right. But when you have the ability to log on to a computer in another country and then make a transaction, that's the type of shit that I'm working on right now. So it would be a disservice to all my people who are actually lined up to keep me sitting in introducing myself over and over and over and over. I can't do that no more. So I'm firing myself from that position. And then listen, I'm gonna be a lot less accessible. That's another thing I'm doing this year too. So, yeah, I can't be doing that so much like that. And for obvious reasons, because I'm gonna have subgroups of people, gonna be drilling down on like real shit. So I just can't be wheeling off at the mouth all day like that. But I'll show up on a couple doc connects here and there. But Champ, y'all know Champ already. Champ gonna do what he do. So
Definitely. I got y'all.
Save y'all a little bit of time, man. Champ's gonna keep this shit organized. All right, so listen, I saw a picture with Brad and Trump. Who's the other guy? That's the attorney guy?
That's Stuart Alderoty. So I'll dive right into that. Actually,
Yeah, Alderoty. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's good alley oop right there.
So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, what's the price of that picture?
Priceless. Let's go.
You weren't in that room.
Let's go. No, I was outside. They let me in. You know what I
They
mean?
let you in.
Maybe it was
I went to the
bid.
bathroom.
Maybe it was the bid. They let me in.
Oh man, we be in this soon. All right, yeah, run with that, guys. That's the most iconic photo right now, and Champ's gonna tell you why.
Absolutely. So let's get it, guys. All right, let's walk this walk. All right, so I'm actually gonna skip one and double back. Can do me a favor, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen right now. All right, bet. All right, so I'll get back to this Ripple Chainlink situation, but this is the photo that he's talking about. So as you can see, we always come with receipts. This is Brad Garlinghouse's Twitter. So Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, Ripple, President-elect Donald Trump, and then this is Stuart Alderoty. So Stuart Alderoty, he is the senior chief legal officer for Ripple, right? Over 35 years of legal experience. Follow his Twitter. Here it goes. It's on the screen so you guys can stay abreast of all the updates that come with the current legal matter, which is the SEC versus Ripple. You guys know we've been in this nonsense for years. It's about to come to an end, right? And I don't want to jump the gun, but everybody's faces is lit up. Are you guys paying attention to this? Now, if you see this photo, right, and you've seen what Brad's been doing, you've seen what just happened on the 60 Minutes interview, you've seen how they try to trash it, they try to turn and twist the I guess the truth about it, everything. I don't know where that just came from, but the fact that they make it seem like crypto just influenced a whole entire election. We know 100% that wasn't the case, but we do know that Brad Garlinghouse put in a lot of money. Not only is it going to Trump for his inauguration on the 20th, but he put in the money behind the campaign because he did this for both parties, right? Ripple put money in for the blue and the red side. They didn't care really who became president in the moment. They just wanted to make sure that they put their interest into letting it be known that we're trying to push the train down the tracks, right? The SEC has stifled innovation. The lack of regulatory clarity and bills that have been passed has all stifled innovation in this country. They want 100% for Ripple to be one of the key players in moving payments cross-border, right? But this photo right here is powerful. The reason being is because this literally alludes to what we've all known. One, the lawsuit we already knew was BS, and it was already coming to an end. But this should pretty much solidify it. So to have a private dinner with the highest authority that's about to come into the land, and your Ripple, you have innovative technology, you have banks, you have central banks, you have fintechs, you have all of the above. You have these huge payment rails that have been laid globally, so all across the world, east all the way to the west, and they're ready. They're tired of the games. They're tired of the enforcement that the SEC has had and the overstep of power. And as you all know, there's one person who's been in charge of that, and that's the clown Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is out of here on Trump's day one. So he's actually stepping down in what, 11 days now, 11, 12 days. So I'm super, super excited about this news, this information, because basically this is a new dawn, a new day. We have a pro-crypto president. We now have a FIT 21 bill. We have MiCA regulations, and there's other regulatory bills and things that are passing in other parts of the world. And of course, this is a global market, global phenomenon. So anything that happens outside of the United States, trust and believe it's coming here. And as you guys can see, since Trump, they announced Trump's his win, he has been nonstop vocal about how he feels about crypto, what he's going to do for the industry, and what this means for the investors here in the United States. His goal is to make the United States a global hub. I mean, a cryptocurrency hub, right? And this is pivotal because there's a problem that exists right now. Last time I checked, is there any rules and regulations about taxes? Now, is there any rules and regulations on taxes with crypto? So he came out and he came, you guys heard this news. We've kind of ran down this already, especially those of you who've seen this on Instagram and through the reels and things like that. There are problems that exist around the world when it comes to taxes. There's not one, I'm not even gonna go down that road, right? Because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a tax consultant. You guys, partner with your tax consultant on that. But what I do want to say is that taxes are voluntary, and I'll stop there. Now, you have a person like Trump who knows the inner workings. He's a finance guy. His whole existence is on business, right? This guy knows how to maneuver. He knows what to do. He knows the back doors that we always talk about, right? Now, he doesn't want that just for sole self. He's always been vocal about trying to help the people, but it's on you to help yourself. He's just giving you the nugget, and he's showing it because he's doing it himself. So when he gives you certain nuggets, you guys are supposed to take this information and run with it. The biggest thing that he came out and said, he said in this proposal, he said there are going to be multiple cryptocurrencies that are US based that are going to be free of capital gains taxes. That in itself is a super win for everybody who is invested in cryptocurrency or looking to be invested in cryptocurrency. And there are a couple projects, and I'll just tell you guys what they are, but you guys can go do the rest of the research on your own. So there's going to be Algorand, there's going to be ADA, which is Cardano, there's going to be Hedera Hashgraph, there's going to be XRP, and there may be one other. I think those were the four notable, but I think inside the article there's like 2 or 3 more, right? But the reason I even wanted to highlight that is because the proposal came out maybe 3 weeks ago, right? So that was in 2024. Now we in 2025, and look at your screen. Who's on the screen? Who's that the CEO of? That's Brad Garlinghouse. And he's joined with his legal counsel. So this allows people to allude, just looking at this photo, that Stuart Alderoty, smile on his face, these guys already know that this case is over. Brad Garlinghouse, vocal. He's been on multiple platforms, big name platforms advocating for Ripple and that we needed new leadership. With Trump's leadership, we are going to get that. It is not going to be the SEC, right? That overreach, what they've been doing, they have not been protecting investors, and that is their number one and sole job at the Securities Exchange Commission. It is to protect the investor, the retail investor. They have not done so. They have actually harmed it, and they have caused a immense stifling in innovation. All right, so this is beautiful. I love to see this. And I'm just excited because I know that the case is about to be over. I give it a couple months. I know this thing won't happen just overnight, but I do know that the case is pretty much over. All right. So
Yeah, hold on. So listen, real quick, guys. There's this guy, and Sharika might know this, and this matters. So remember when I opened up earlier and I was like, the generators and just being prepared. Here we go. So Doug Ford, right? So she knows. How do you what's his title? Like a premier? What did they say about these guys? Prime Minister of Ontario, Premier. What is that?
Prime Minister.
So understand, we get a lot of power from Canada. You understand? So if this trade war starts to happen, that's going to be their bargaining chip right there. So you remember that blackout conspiracy shit that we keep talking about? That's just coming. That stuff is coming, guys. Trust me. And they'll time it right because they'll end up crashing the markets and then just send things into chaos. And then everything's back on sale again. That's going to be the Black Swan event. So again, guys, I'm telling you, we got to push up that preparedness situation. But at the end of the day, you just got to, can you survive with 10 days with no power? That's the question right there.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes back to people helping people. But I don't think that's going to happen right now. Not in this country. So chaos. All right. So just start getting some water and things like that. But and I know Texas just went through something too with a power outage.
Yeah. Yep. That windstorm knocked out a lot of people's power and stuff.
Oh, windstorm, right? Yeah, I've been hearing the same wind outside my house. This should be howling. Listen, I'm 47. I've heard a lot of wind before, but the sounds coming from that stuff, that you can't tell me that's real.
Yeah, that's wild. Mm-hmm.
So if you know that 2030 agenda, the United States has a plan to own 50% of all land in the US. 50%. That's your house, possibly. Somebody's house on this call. So I'm just giving y'all a tidbit. Good luck. Where we at?
All right. So
And listen, we're not going to stick to this gloom and doom stuff, but we do have to. It is obvious that they are doing things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just about preparing. We don't just talk about the news and then just leave you high and dry. Like we're bringing on experts and we got hands on deck too. Damn, that's a wild one for Canada. That's a big bargaining chip right there. What would you do? Like honestly, like how many days do you think you could last without power?
In these temperatures, this time of year, yeah, that's a lot of restrictions going on. It's wild, man. And that's something that everybody has to really internalize and put into perspective. And then you got to act. You can't be emotional. Definitely to the men, you can't be emotional. You just got to act.
All right, guys. So yeah, just something to put on your radar. Doug Ford, that's the guy's name. If you want to look him up, he's out of Ontario, but he holds some power, and he's like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And this is in response to Donald Trump. So two wild dudes right now, and it's gonna be Trump's fault too.
Oh, of course. They're gonna blame.
All right, have at it.
All right, my guy. All right. So next on the list, you guys can see this. Give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. Just want to make sure you guys can see that. All right, so next on the list, we have Ripple adopts the Chainlink standard to further Ripple USD utility and access in DeFi. So there's something that we've been telling you guys repeatedly over time. And we've told you that you have certain blockchains, certain companies that are going to be so pivotal to what's to come in the future. And you guys are investing early in the infrastructure, right? You're here right now learning about the future of finance. There's things that haven't even materialized, but they're being built, and you're finding out about it in real time as things are happening, right? This is the power of information. This is why we always tell you, if you have the foundation first, everything after that is you're building upon it. And this is vital. Now, the reason I even wanted to bring this up, this article is super, super dope. I'll make sure that you guys get this. But just to summarize it, Ripple is advancing its stablecoin initiative by adopting the Chainlink standard to bring in high quality pricing data for the RLUSD stablecoin on chain. So RLUSD, this is a enterprise grade USD denominated, stablecoin that's used for trust, utility, compliance, and it's issued on both the XRP ledger, which is the XRPL, and the Ethereum blockchain. Now, excuse me. Now, the key highlights from this article, and I want everybody to read it because this is the press release that came directly from Ripple. So I'll make sure I drop that for you guys. So Chainlink price feed integration. It's live on the Ethereum mainnet, and this provides secure and reliable RLUSD pricing data. Now, this is very important because anytime that you guys pull up CoinMarketCap, that's a tool. For anybody that's new on this call, you guys may not know this, but this is a little nugget for you. So CoinMarketCap, this is a resource tool. It's the same thing as CoinGecko. You can basically go on, you type in a project. Once you type in a project, you can see real time what the pricing is. That data is what Chainlink provides. That pricing data in real time as things are happening, it's changing and it's updating live. So you're able to see when the price of something goes up or goes down instantaneously. Now, this type of data is what we need when you're doing any other applications outside of just looking at a chart, right? Most people don't care about charts. They care about the pricing, right? So this is why Chainlink is so important. Now, there are other blockchains and layer twos that are going to come in that are going to do what Chainlink does. But right now, Chainlink is powerful. So it enables developers to integrate RLUSD into DeFi applications like trading and lending. And I told you guys, DeFi is not something that we want you guys to just dive into, but it's really, really important, and it's setting the table because what we're about to get next is institutional DeFi. In the beginning, they used to call crypto the Wild Wild West, and it was because of decentralized autonomous organizations, which are DAOs. People used to be able to come in, you can stake, you can lend, you can just do a whole bunch of things. Basically, you take the traditional world of how you would be able to acquire capital from a bank, and you're able to do that with your cryptocurrency. So basically, you can leverage your crypto, get a loan, pay off, you'll get 50% loan to value, and then you take that money without having to show ID, provide a credit card, etc. You literally leveraged your asset. So that was DeFi. Now we're about to get institutional DeFi, which is going to be a whole nother ball game. We're talking about NFTs. We're talking about artwork, real world assets, cars, houses, commodities, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all things, right? Everything of value is going to get tokenized and put on a blockchain, but we still need to know what the pricing of these things are in real time. So this partnership is super strategic. All right, but without going too far, so Chainlink's infrastructure is trusted by many financial institutions, and it's responsible for over $18 trillion in transactional value. So that's huge. Now, here's a stablecoin opportunity. RLUSD supports a low-cost instant settlement for local and cross-border payments. It maintains a one-to-one value to the US dollar, and it accelerates the adoption of stablecoin-based payments. So this is very important because think about this. I just told you guys 18 trillion in transactional value. The whole entire cryptocurrency market right now is only at 3.5 trillion. So what I'm telling you is they're already transacting with other markets that's funneling through this technology. And everybody in the 1% that you know, these big entities, right? The players, they're already using this technology with banks, with fintechs, with central banks, etc. They're moving things of value that we don't even get a chance to see yet. We just only see, certain transactions when they allow us to. Because remember, just like in the bank side, there's a public and a private ledger. These guys are definitely using private ledgers, and the prices are way higher. All right. So, number three, Chainlink has an advantage for RLUSD. So, high quality data. It's aggregated from numerous exchanges. It's cleaned of outliers and is resistant to manipulation. So somebody can't come in and just, drop a drop in a bucket, and then you see a bunch of different pricing for digital assets. That's not how that works. Two, you have secure node operators. So it's managed by independent security review teams with proven reliability. So we're decentralized, and then we have secured networks. We're decentralized. That being, it ensures that we're tamper proof and it's downtime resistant infrastructure, which means it doesn't matter what happens, they can shut the internet down because we are not centralized. We don't run off one particular party. If they knocked out the power in this grid, there are global node operators who will continuously push data in real time, and it will keep everything online without downtime. This is powerful information. Last but not least, reputation. So it allows users to verify node performance in real time. Now, I don't want to get too techie with this, but there's a strategic impact that I'm trying to stress here. So Ripple partnering with Chainlink enhances RLUSD's utility across DeFi and institutional markets. And this is what we need, because this is what's going to bring in those trillions of capital that we always tell you guys about. So what this means for you, the retail investor, is you need to make sure that one, you're getting this information. Two, you're in position to invest. You're making sure you're making educated investments, and you're properly securing those assets, waiting for the boom to come. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I know. All right. Next up. Let me let some couple people in the room. Give me 1 second, y'all. So now that I told you guys about RLUSD, now this young lady right here you're looking at on the screen, this is Ripple's president. This is Monica Long. Monica Long has been with Ripple for many, many years, right? And she just had a live talk at Apex. And the Apex Summit, they always tell you about what's going on with the projects, what they're building, what's to come. It's essentially like when we tell you guys to read the white paper, and the white paper gives a roadmap of what they're trying to accomplish. These live events always highlight the CEOs they come on, or the presidents of the company, or CTOs. You guys will see Joel Katz or David Schwartz. You'll see him live on stage, and he's basically breaking down what they're doing with the company. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but what this article is about is the ETF. Now, RLUSD is partnered to give Ripple created it. They're now partnered with Chainlink on that infrastructure. Now I'm going to connect it even further. You are looking at a company who is leveraging a digital asset, XRP, and they have a stable coin. Why are they leveraging a stable coin? So that you can have trusted and reliable institutional money come in. One of those next phases before we fully get tokenized is going to be institutional DeFi. This is when you're going to take everything that currently exists, you're going to move it into a digital form, and you're going to bring it onto the blockchain. So now everybody will have those same capabilities, same products that we already have in the real world. They're just going to bring them on chain. This means more money, more capital is coming into the space. So again, I'm giving you guys the gems and the perspective so you understand why you're investing in certain projects early. This article is about the Spot ETF. She went on stage and said, listen, we're next in line. The reason that's so important is because we already have the BTC Spot ETF, and then next we have the Ethereum ETF. What that does is that brings more money, more eyes, right? People that don't want to hold actual physical assets in cryptocurrency, that gives you the exposure to it. That means more bread's coming in. So that means pack your bags. When this happens, it's going to be a whole new ball game because that's a lot of capital that's going to come in. And when it comes in, it's coming into these particular blockchains. You've seen what happened with Bitcoin, with the price of Bitcoin. Once the BlackRock, did what they did and everybody did their ETFs, once they got approved, through the roof. All right, so I'm not telling you guys that's exactly what's going to happen, especially me and Steve both. We've been in this asset for 10 years. So we have super patience. We just know what they're building is unmatched. And we know they have a big competitive advantage when it comes to payments. All right. So that's that on that. Just be on the lookout for it. And then anytime any more news or anything comes about, we'll make sure that we kind of pass that information to you guys. All right. And 1 second. Sorry, guys, my computer moving a little slow. So I came across this article and I actually thought that it was fake. I'm gonna drop this for you guys. Is anybody on this call a big H-bar fan? Is anybody big on Hedera Hashgraph? Please let me know. That's what I like to see. All right, so I dropped the article to you guys, and I'm gonna pull it back up on my screen. It's just my screen, my computer's moving a little slow, a little heavy. This news is insane to me. So, you guys can see this? Because I can't see the chat, so I'm only looking at you guys' screen. As long as I know you guys can see it, I'm good. All right, appreciate you. All right, so we got Hedera Hashgraph making headlines with a revolutionary partnership with SpaceX. This positions it as a facilitator of crypto transactions in space. According to crypto expert, there's a guy, his name is Sean Mogul. He had a basic breakthrough, stating that this will transform satellite to satellite payments networks, reshaping transactions both here on Earth and quote unquote in space. Why Hedera? So Hedera Hashgraph is renowned for its unmatched speed, efficiency, scalability. It's capable of handling trillions of transactions per second while consuming drastically less energy than Ethereum. All right. So back in 2023, Sean did an analysis that highlighted all of the solutions for Hedera Hashgraph. And essentially, it made it an ideal choice for these quote unquote space applications. So the key uses for Hedera Hashgraph, and I'm just going to break these down real easy. You've got secure satellite communication and payment networks. You've got tokenization of asteroid mining resources, where Hashgraph could tokenize asteroids, quote unquote, enabling global financing for resource extraction from space. You have space supply chain management, where you can track carbon emissions and monitor each stage of rocket production using Hedera. And then you've got smart contracts for autonomous spacecraft. So combining AI with Hedera, spacecraft can autonomously make decisions such as avoiding collisions without human intervention. So I say all that to say this. There's industry validation that came about. When I hear some of those use cases, some of them sound like kind of far-fetched, right? But if you believe in the whole space thing and you believe in asteroids, things like that, it's viable because on the 14th of this month, literally in 6 days, this takes place. This rocket that's supposed to be going into space, this is a H-bar rocket, and they partner with SpaceX on this. So you've got Wise Keys CEO, his name is Carlos Cruz Moreira. He confirmed Hedera's integration with the blockchain technology in space, calling it a world first proof of concept to secure satellite communications and crypto transactions. Then you have Sealcoin, which is an exchange testing in space highlights using Hedera's innovative leadership. So I just want to say that this to me just seems so wild, but I'm glad to see that there's so much innovation and adoption that's happening. And now we're starting to see more and more interoperability. So these projects are going to continue to work together. They're going to do what they need to do, and they're going to continue to push the envelope. There's so much that we have yet to see, and there's so much more that's to come. So everybody who's already invested in cryptocurrency, now's the time to go through your portfolio, assess what you have. If you're not seeing any updates with those projects, if you're not seeing any movement, if you don't believe in the project, you shouldn't have them anyway. If you have not yet invested, I strongly urge everybody, one, to have the foundation. The biggest thing going from today forward is going to be the knowledge, knowing how to maneuver in this space, and being able to protect those assets. The first 100 days are going to be so pivotal, but on day one, there's going to be so much hype that I wouldn't think twice. And I'm going out on a limb. This is champ talking. This is just my opinion. I truly feel like we are going to get a big boost in the economy and in cryptocurrency specifically because this administration is a go. Everybody on board, everybody that you've seen Trump talking to, all the new people that he's endorsed, all the new people that he's brought into Congress, that have been placed in Congress, they're all pro-crypto, and this is on purpose. This is, I'm telling you guys, he was one of those guys. He put out Executive Order 13772. I want you guys to look it up. This is old, right? This was, I think, 2017 or 18. He was talking about this, and he said, well, I don't want to spoil it. Go read that executive order. We'll revisit it on another .connect. We'll talk about it inside the academy. But this was his first stroke of the pen, letting everybody know that he was pro-crypto back then. This was on his radar back then during the first presidency. There's a real live executive order, and it's 13772. It talked about digital assets. So if you understand what's going on now in 2025 and his first 100 days of how pivotal this is, you will understand the urgency of why we've been pushing you guys to, one, get your time together so that you can focus, right? You're not distracted with a million things. Two, having the foundation, because when it's game time, it's you, the lights, and how you perform. And however you show up is however you show up. Nobody is your responsibility. You are your responsibility. You take care of your family. You take care of what you have to do. But it starts with you guys putting in the work. There's some people who try to skim and just navigate. That's not how this is supposed to work. Cryptocurrency and being in this market early places you at a significant advantage over other people because you know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for. You're already invested in certain projects. And then, of course, you have Skyton. We're here to consistently give you guys gems. But what I'm telling you is nobody is going to hold your hand. And when this thing happens, it's going to happen fast. Everybody in big position has already told you that the train has left the station. That's Rosie Rios's #1 phrase. She always says that. The train has left the station. You know what board of governors she's on. You can look at your fiat currency. Everybody who has money in their pocket, you can look on the bill and see her name on it. 9 times out of 10, you have a bill with her name on it. That's not a coincidence. Choke point 2.0 is happening right now. Michael Barr, he's stepping down. He just put in his letter of resignation, and he's one of those guys that was poised with stifling crypto innovation, right? Just like Gary Gensler in the SEC. So a lot of these players that you're seeing, they're putting in their resignations and they're stepping down right before Trump comes in office. This is not a coincidence. I have to stress this to you guys. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip it there. I won't go over any additional articles because I don't want to keep you guys, but I just need you guys to truly, truly lock in. If last year and you guys were with us was a year, and I know you guys all appreciated the information, all the gems that we brought to you. I know it, right? You devoted your time. But if you didn't truly feel like you gave it your all, like you didn't truly lock in, this is a warning. You must do so in 2025. The technology is advancing super fast. The information is coming out super fast. The partnerships, the utility, the use case, it's all happening collectively super fast. For all of our 1%ers, we're going to have a call for you guys. I'll make sure we're sending out the calendar and stuff like that in the next couple of days. So just be on the lookout for that. But I'm going to give you guys some beautiful breakdowns, some great advancements. And for the most part, I just want you guys to be prepared. So keep showing up, keep devoting your time. Make sure you guys are knocking out that time management worksheet. And that's that. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to wrap this. We're going to wrap this here. The replay will be available to you guys. That was .Connect Wednesdays, episode 75. We went over a couple great things. Industry updates, of course. We've got Ripple and Chainlink partnership. We had Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Alderoty, and President-elect Donald Trump having their private dinner. We've got HBAR and Space partnering with SpaceX. And then we've got XRP Spot ETF next in line. Can't wait to see you guys on the next one. That's it. We out of here. Peace.